Alrighty then. We should be good to go now. Thanks for everybody watching live. Jump in and say that real quick. What's up? How's your week? How's your Monday? Sorry, it's been a minute. Wildy and I haven't been on the same schedule. Mostly on my side, but you know, it is what it is. We have life. This is a secondary thing for us, so you guys know how it goes. Anyways, Wildy, you ready to jump right into this, or do you need a second?
Born ready.
Sweet. All right, let's go ahead and just jump right in. What's up, game geeks and tech junkies? Welcome to a gaming
You gotta give me like a second or two of dead air there before you do that.
yeah. Okay.
Hold on, and I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna beep us. Okay.
What's up, game geeks and tech junkies?
I'm sorry, I gotta stop you again because I'm not in fucking, and we don't have a new cast up. We don't.
We don't.
My good buddy Craig.
Good Craig.
See?
I got it.
Ready.
Now recording.
Took a week off. I forgot all this friggin' game work.
What?
Just like COD. It's coming right back to me already.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, fuck you, Craig. All right. Out of the way. And I'm going to 3-beep it again and then give it a little break and then we'll go.
Well, let me get in a new caster first.
Oh, yeah. We should.
Testing a new caster. All right, we're good to go on this one.
Settings. Microphone, NVIDIA broadcast. Looks good.
All right, I do believe we are good to go. Wildy's joined and I have joined, so we are good on the Anuicaster side. Let's just jump right into the intro. What's up, game geeks and tech junkies? Welcome to a gaming moment, a weekly 30.
We need to cut out the 30 minutes. Which is
I was like, when did that go back in there? All right.
All right. Yeah.
In 3, 2, 1. What's up, game geeks and tech junkies? Welcome to a gaming moment, a weekly podcast about everything gaming and streaming related, including the news, tech, and software behind it. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram so you can engage with us, as well as find out when we're streaming the podcast and get a first listen before it goes out across all of your favorite podcasting platforms. I'm Dagan07, and with me as always is WildTwinsFan. What's going on, Wildy? How you doing?
Good. Yep, we're back in sync, getting this podcast thing back down, but do have a couple topics this week. We do have we're going to talk a little bit about FCC and net neutrality and some of the big players trying to get that back into play. We also have another big topic of Microsoft talking with Discord about a possible $10 billion acquisition, and just a little bit spin on that. And then we do have like our weekly banter items, talk a little bit about Stadia on Xbox. Google's actually playing nice with some small devs. AMD bows to no one. Rockstar pays a $10,000 bounty. PlayStation VR 2 is coming. And a little bit about an Xbox VR rumbling rumor quickly shot down, but we'll touch on that.
Yeah, that's some good topics for the week, Wildy. And I know you're a huge proponent of net neutrality, and some big news came out by some very, very big players recently. Why don't you fill us in on what's going on?
Yeah, Mozilla and a couple other big internet companies like ADT, Dropbox, Eventbrite, Reddit, Vimeo, Wikimedia sent a letter to the FCC asking them to reinstate net neutrality as a matter of urgency. So I just wanted to cover a little bit in case the listeners aren't 100% up at the snuff on what net neutrality is. Net neutrality prevents internet providers like Verizon, Comcast, some of the most evil companies out there, Spectrum, just to name a few of the big players, from dictating the type of content you're allowed to access online and how well that content works. Instead, internet providers have to treat all traffic sources equally, and net neutrality is enforced by the FCC. In short, net neutrality creates an even playing field among content providers, both large and small, to the web. And it's great for consumers because they can access everything they want without extra fees and charges, or have to worry about being slowed down or just messed with because of your thing. You can also go to the FCC's website and file complaints if you think you have had issues or whatever. And I encourage you to do so if you have. So just a little bit about this net neutrality thing. If you came out with a small service, all of a sudden you're going to be fighting against big name players like Netflix and Hulu and Sling TV and some of the YouTube, anything Amazon. They're going to steamroll you if they got the bankroll to make people pay to have your services. Now, if I'm this little guy and my internet provider says, well, if you want to be able to stream your Netflix, really quick, WildTwinsFan, and they say to you, if you want to stream your WildTwinsFan nice and smooth and fast and everything, you're going to have to pay this extra little fee so people can have the priority internet connection to your service. And we've seen where they've already played games with Netflix, and they've strong-armed Netflix in the past, where they made it so they slowed down and kind of buffered it, and people couldn't watch stuff in high quality. It's like, yeah, that's far worse, I think, for most people. If you give someone a poor quality experience, they're more apt to spend the money. All right, I guess I got to pay them the extra $10 to get the unlimited Netflix streaming and stuff like that. And they start just playing the strong arm game of who's got the better internet. And now the FCC kind of regulates stuff like telephones already, and part of the Telephone Act is they can't do that stuff with telephones. And to say that the internet is any less of a thing than an actual telephone is obtuse in this day of age. So, they need to set some rules, and the rules need to be consumer orientated. The companies out there, and we've proven now with COVID and the increased demand, that they can handle it. The COVID did hit them pretty hard, but they were able to handle the big surges and the masses of people working from home. But the early days, a year ago, I think we were talking about how hard it was for some of the services. And I remember login times for COD when Warzone came online, and COVID hit because it was so big. So this helps prevent some of those game playing by these big names, and evens the playing field. And this is our country. We should be in charge of these rules and stuff like that. And no one should be able to strong arm, consumers in the free market.
Yeah, like Wally said, I mean, we saw some things with Netflix, really within the past 3 or 4 years. That's why, here a while back, companies like T-Mobile had a partnership with Netflix, because mobile companies were through like 4G and 5G signals, they were capping out how much data you could actually, how much bandwidth you could actually send back and forth to Netflix in order to basically save themselves money. So you might have had 5, 6, 700 down on a normal playing field, like downloading applications from the App Store. But when you were going to like Netflix, in order for them to kind of save their butts, they were throttling you back to like 100, 200 megabits download speeds to be able to stream that. And then T-Mobile came in and said, "Hey, we'll give you a subscription to Netflix. You're gonna have the fastest streaming available for Netflix on a mobile device," and that was kind of part of it right there. So, I mean, that's seeing it in action, and then it's like, if you're internet service provider, you're looking at switching internet service providers. So if you're like on Comcast or AT&T and you want to go visit uh, a competitor, they're gonna give you like the worst experience possible, because they're gonna tell you they're gonna make their website slow. Then you as a consumer are gonna automatically think, well, their website's not optimized, they're not doing a good job. This is what they do, and it's gonna deter you. It's gonna change your outlook on making that decision, and that's the whole point of net neutrality. Is everything should be on a fair and equal playing field. If we're not if we don't have net neutrality here in the United States, we might as well be China and have they have what's called a great firewall, where the government dictates what you can see and what can be shown and what can't be shown. They'll block websites willy-nilly. If there's anything negative about the government, or if there's actually real news being posted that they don't want seen, they're gonna block it. And that's what net neutrality is all about, is having everything on a plain, even playing field, and just having the information that we need when we need it, at the speeds that we need it at, without any kind of bias. So get out
So go ahead.
get out there and vote for it. It's really huge. Like Dropbox, if you're in another country and you need to access Dropbox and you're limited by an ISP, or if you're at your house but you're on business in another state, and you're using a different ISP trying to access Dropbox through a hotel or something, and they're throttling it because you're trying to download a large PowerPoint presentation or something like that.
Because they have an exclusive contract with someone
Box
else, Amazon,
or Google Drive,
one of those other drives. That could be the game they play. They could have you, anywhere you go. You could be playing the game with whoever's got the internet. You're paying
$10 a night for your internet in your hotel room, but for an extra $5, we'll increase your speed and unlock everything at normal speeds. And that's the kind of bullshit that we have to try to avoid as consumers. So get out there, voice what you see. If you come across anything like that out on the internet, like if your ISP is blocking you from seeing another ISP, or they're throttling your speeds from that ISP, then you need to let the FCC know, because it's technically unconstitutional.
So, and then the other thing is, you might be listening to this as a non-American, which thank you, but this does affect everybody, because just like any other country, if they can set this precedence now to say that the internet is important and cannot be modified and messed with by big companies, that's a big saying. The World Health Organization said they actually said it, I believe it, I can't remember this quote exactly, but they said something that's akin to like a war crime to shut the internet off in a country due to governmental unbalance or whatever like that. They basically said that that the internet is an essential, that the internet's essential service to people in the world. So to be able to not throttle this stuff and is big. And other countries, Europe has been battling back and forth a lot on this. Canada's always got their issues with internet and their phone providers and their internet providers and stuff like that. So if you can get the United States or Europe or even Canada to put their foot down and say, no, all internet traffic will be created and treated equally, it's gonna be a win for everybody, except for probably the companies that want to charge you extra for it. So which doesn't help anybody. So just a big topic. I just wanted you guys to be aware of. It should come up in the news a fair bit. They're definitely on it. So we'll see. We're going to have a new FCC commissioner here, and I think the early reports were good as far as net neutrality and the new commissioner look.
Yeah, the big thing that the World Health Organization, their vision of health for all is, people should have access to their health records. Healthcare professionals should have easy access to personal healthcare records. And if you're not, if these healthcare record organizations aren't playing nice with different ISPs, you could be limited on access to these different databases and stuff. It's just not cool, and that's the World Health Organization stance on it. They don't want anything getting in the way of healthcare professionals accessing patient data.
Sure.
But on to some other kind of bigger news. I don't know how much bigger net neutrality is, but back on to more like some gaming kind of, that kind of community style news that we're known for. VentureBeat reported.
Come on now. You can't say Discord's gaming. Discord's rebranding itself to communication
for everyone. Communications for everyone, but it's still known as the game. It's still known as the gamer's way of communication. Let's be real. Yep. COVID's changed it. But when you say Discord, you don't think corporate environments using it to do their work. You think of Microsoft Teams or something like that. But VentureBeat reported recently that Discord was exploring a $10 billion plus sale after multiple potential buyers expressed interest, and it had signed an exclusive acquisition discussion with one party, suggesting the deal could be close. Bloomberg even came out and said that the deal isn't imminent. But one person is saying Discord will be more likely to take itself public than seek an acquisition. They did say that Epic Games and Amazon were companies that held discussions with Discord in the past. Discord does have about 140 million monthly users, which is a huge amount of users. And it made $130 million in revenue last year. And what's crazy is the Wall Street Journal reported that the company isn't even profitable yet, but its last valuation was at $7 billion after a funding round in December generated $100 million for them. So there's been quite a few talks with quite a few different companies on Discord potentially selling out, and why Microsoft?
I don't know.
I mean, Microsoft failed with Mixer. They already have a pretty decent, like I use Teams in my daily life. They already have a pretty decent chat solution that's similar to Discord. It even uses some of the shortcuts that Discord uses. I mean, it's built on a lot of the same technology. I hope Discord doesn't sell out. I'd prefer them to just go public and kind of keep things the way they are. I mean, things are working really, really well for them right now. I literally have zero complaints about Discord.
Yeah. Well, I think part of this might just be a little bit of playing the game. So we've had a couple companies lately. Again, we're getting back to the stock things, and neither one of us are stockbrokers or any of that stuff. But Roblox kind of shocked the market, coming out and making the money they made on their IPO. And this might be a little bit of a gameplay on Discord's part to say, if they do, post an IPO, hey, Microsoft was going to pay us $10 billion. We must be worth at least $10 billion. So I don't know if, what game they're playing here. They've obviously talked to some big names in the past. I mean, if you're talking to Amazon and stuff like that, you're talking to big names, and Epic Games definitely, they're not messing with companies that are are out there, just talking about things. They're out there talking to companies that are buying things and spending the money and trying to make their way in the market. So, but yeah, it's interesting to see that, like Microsoft Teams does work really well. It is a nice program, and it's interesting that Microsoft would be $10 billion interested enough in this to do that. And some of the things that I think was kind of neat, just looking at the past acquisition talks, is that Discord has turned down offers, in the past because they didn't believe the companies that they didn't really like what the direction that the companies would have took Discord, like embracing advertising. Like that's the amazing thing about Discord right now is it's free.
It's
And
ad
it
free.
works really good. Yeah, it's
It's
ad free.
ad-free.
You don't. Yeah.
You have the option to buy into it with the Nitro. You have some other options to give back to the Discord community and the Discord company, but the platform itself is 100% free. And I think after seeing what Amazon has done to Twitch and the crap that Twitch has gone through in the past 2 years since Amazon's really started, pushing their own branding and their own agenda within Twitch. All of the advertising, all the ads, and man, can you imagine having ads all over over Discord?
Yeah, I got it. You have to watch this 2-minute commercial to continue your next hour of Discord talk, and it probably wouldn't be 2 minutes. You think how bad that would be? Like you'd have to could you stock up commercial time so you could have Discord time? It's like, but again, I think Discord runs a little bit of a weird spot there of how do you monetize a free service, that they're obviously they got costs and they got, employees and development and people. So, but the other part is scares me a little bit is I think Discord's a pretty small little company, small little group, how many people got in that little group or company got an owning stake or a stake in that company. And then at $10 billion of selling the company, man, someone's going to hand me $30 million and say, my morals might be slightly less as far as, if you're going to take my program and put ads on it, what do I care? I got $30 million. I'm retired. So, we'll see, but it's definitely a hot topic. I don't know that I put a whole lot of faith in Microsoft buying it, although I'm sure they could or would necessarily, but I'm not so sure that's really what Discord's after at the moment. Like just making a stronger IPO by saying, hey, look how much money we could have sold for. We must be really worth a lot of money and buy our stock. So I don't know. Interesting.
Yeah, from an employee standpoint, Discord is excuse me. From an employee standpoint, Discord is like a medium-sized company. Craft.co, which gives you some business profile information. As of March 2021, they have an estimated 820 employees. And again, like you said, how many people have like like stock options or potential stock options? You're probably talking about maybe 15 to 20 people. You have Jason Citron, who's the founder and CEO. You have Stanislav Vyzhevinsky. I hope I didn't murder Vyzhnevsky. He's the CTO. Tolly Fisher, yeah. Andreas Diaz, he's the director of business development. Ruth Chang, who's the director of finance, and Sergey Sorenkin is the director of product management. So the guy that basically helps build out the product on the different types of products that Discord offers. So there's some key people there that are heavily vested in there, and if they decided to sell out, those people are going to make some bank. And that's not saying that Jason Citron isn't already making bank. I'd be curious to see what his net worth is, but they've had quite a few funding rounds. They've raised, it looks like, over 300 million in capital, and their valuation just keeps rising. Like, their current valuation is sitting at, the market valuation is sitting at 3.5 billion as of 6/30/2020. So it's probably more now. Like the article said, it's probably 7 or 8 billion right now. And I think Microsoft offered 10 to try to get them to sell it, a little bit more than what the market valuation is. But I swear, if Microsoft bought it, they'd probably run it into the ground like they did Mixer. Like, I don't. You have a great product. Why do you want to buy one? I could see Amazon buying it over Microsoft. I just don't see why Microsoft would want to buy it when like I said, Teams is actually a fairly decent product. It's similar to Skype, or not Skype. It's similar to Slack. There's integrations that you can do with Teams. It's already integrated in Office 365 and OneDrive and everything. There's zero reason for Microsoft to be interested in this at all.
I don't know, man.
In my opinion,
they could buy it. They could buy it and not take it over too, and just, you have a growing company in your back pocket. They could flip it and sell it too.
Fair enough.
So I don't know. It's an interesting topic. The other thing is, I don't know if people know this, but this podcast is recorded through the beauty and magic of Discord.
Absolutely.
So, being a couple miles apart from between Texas and Minnesota, so works out pretty well for us.
Yeah, a little bit more than walking distance, but
Yep.
I think I can speak for both of us when I say I love Discord. We love Discord. The communities that we're a part of absolutely adore Discord. And I think it would be a shame if a company purchased Discord, because then we all know that there's going to be some sort of influence on it, and it's probably going to be advertising related.
Straight into an ad.
Yeah. So guys, if you've been enjoying the podcast and would like to support us so we can keep creating more content, we've started a Patreon that you can visit at patreon.agamingmoment.com. Become a patron and gain exclusive benefits such as early access to episodes, monthly AMAs, and an additional monthly bonus episode. So sign up today.
Yeah, so let's get into the weekly banter here, Day. So it looks like that Xbox Series X and S and Xbox One are getting an upgraded browser that can play Stadia.
Yeah, this is a strange move.
I mean, not entirely strange, because the writing's kind of been on the wall, right? We've talked a little bit about this, that Sony might be creating, a plug-in dongle that's nothing more than a Chromecast that with the ability to play Stadia, or to play Microsoft games. So interesting though.
It is, and as a Stadia player, like I'm like, okay, now do I take my Chromecast Ultra off of my TV, because the TV that my Xbox Series X is on, it has my Chromecast Ultra on it. Do I take that off of it and move it to like the living room TV where my PlayStation 4 is connected to? Do I even need my Chromecast Ultra anymore? It's weird. It's strange for me that one gaming company, one console company is starting to support the access to another service.
Yep.
And you don't need Xbox, you don't need Xbox Live or Game Pass Ultimate in order to use the browser on Xbox either. So you can essentially pay for one service and play it on a console. Like I don't know.
I know.
It's really weird. I mean, let us tweet at us, message us and let us know what you guys think. Like, is this something weird? Do you think there's something behind the scenes? Like, Xbox, Microsoft and Google are like, scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Let's, set it up so that, you can through Bluetooth hook up an Xbox controller and play Xbox games through Xbox's streaming service. Is that what we're seeing moving forward? Is, like I said, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
I got an Xbox controller is better than a Google Stadia controller.
It's not bad. The Google Stadia controller is not bad. It's a cross. It's a cross between Xbox and PlayStation. It like the feel of it feels like an Xbox, but the thumbsticks are where the PlayStation thumbsticks are. That's about as much as that. It's more comfortable to me than a PlayStation controller, but not as comfortable as an Xbox controller. We'll put it that way. It's the happy medium.
Yeah. So I will keep tabs on that, and Day, I think will hopefully keep us updated on how that works out, and maybe I'll give her a shot one of these days too. But another Google story, and we've talked a little bit about this in the past, so kind of a bit of a follow up, but a little bit about these big companies in the stores, and I don't think we're going to see Apple doing this one yet, but Google's actually stepped up and reduced the Play Store cut up to 15% for developers. First $1 million in annual revenue. So this is huge for like a small company. If you're going in there as a little dev, that's a couple people, and we've seen that, like Among Us, that's popular on everything, and it's certainly popular on phones because that's the most approachable method. Again, for gaming for most people in the world. So that's a pretty big statement. That's a lot of money for a small company, up to 150 grand that they can put in their pockets and foster their company or their pockets or whatever they do, or
more marketing, or more R&D. Yeah.
More extra arcades and Nerf guns for their office.
I mean, it just goes to show you. It just goes to show you that Google actually does care. Unlike some companies, who shall remain nameless, that they care about the smaller developers, and they're not looking to just rake small developers and small companies over the coal. They're there to help them grow, and then it's actually really hard to reach $1 million in revenue off of potentially a free app or like $1 app, and then even ads only pay maybe a penny, and then you have to make sure that you have to know that you have a lot of people playing the game and seeing the mobile ads in order to get that money. So it's actually extremely difficult to make that first $1 million in annual revenue, which means that saving that 15% can happen through the duration of the app, through the duration of your company, or for a really good extended period of time until you do something that takes off.
Yep. So bright story, good on Google. They still haven't put the do no evil back in their motto company mission there, but this one looks like a plus for everybody. We also talked last week. We talked a little bit about the NVIDIA stepping in and limiting those evil miners from stealing all the GPUs from the poor gamers. And AMD stepped up in the spotlight and says, we will not be blocking any workload buy our products.
Just
Kinda
just
the
buy it,
separate
please.
school thought.
Just buy it, please.
Turns out the
We're not-
GPUs don't exist anyways on this paper
Yeah.
launch, but that's beside the point. Man, it kills me right now. Like the 5700X right now, I think is one of the like most sought after cards, and AMD's always had kind of a good mining presence, between cost and value and hash rate and cost. And like, man, there was stacks of 5700 XTs on the shelf when I went to Micro Center. And, and the evil part of me thinks, well, man, they couldn't give those away at the time, really, because everyone wanted the other cards, and now they've flown off the shelves because people can't get anything.
Yeah, you can't find nothing, man. You can't find nothing. And even the stuff that when we were fortunate, when we were able to find our stuff, at least it was like quasi affordable. Now, like even just the MSRP has been jacked up to $300 on these cards.
Yeah, crazy.
It's been nuts.
So, yeah, AMD,
but
I mean,
that's good for crypto miners. It's good for crypto miners. As you know, I've kind of gotten into it a little bit with NiceHash, and I'll run NiceHash when I'm working because I'm not using any graphics intensive programs unless I'm jumping into Photoshop for 15-20 minutes to clip out some images and stuff. But a few cents here, a few cents there every day, buck here, buck there every day, adds up over a little while. And I think why not? If you're leaving your computer on anyway, if you're rocking like an RTX, NiceHash has a really nice optimized app if you're running for NVIDIA,
they got a nice app,
and it pushes your GPU to just below like high performance, right? It makes just enough money per day to offset the electricity costs and give you a really nice profit, but without burning up your GPU and pushing it to its max when it doesn't need to be. So I like, just for instance, I use it, like I say, quite a bit, and realistically on my 3080, it's only using about 80%, and the temperatures are well within cool. So like my GPU never really gets above like 70 degrees, and it's air cooled, and the VRAM doesn't get above like 85 or 86 degrees Celsius. So it's actually really gentle on your machine while making you some okay money at the same time in the background. So
yeah.
I mean, there's no reason that people shouldn't be doing any kind of cryptocurrency nowadays, unless you're running a potato ass computer that's using like a GTX 670 or something like that. If you're running an RTX anything, especially a 30 series, there's no reason why you shouldn't be doing a little bit of mining on the side.
Yeah, I still a little reserved on it. I don't want to burn her up. And it's not like you use it up and burn it up, but it's just running long and hard at high temps. I'm not comfortable with that, with the availability of the GPU market at the moment. So
that's fair.
I'd much rather play games.
That's fair.
Risky take, but NiceHash does make it a much more easy managed risk that you can run it at like a light setting, still make a nice profit, and not beat the crap out of your equipment. So nice.
Note that it's only for like those kind of settings are only for NVIDIA. Like they have a NVIDIA specific one that will run your GPU at like 60 to 80%, and it doesn't put that much strain. But Wildy is right in the fact that if you're putting that additional strain on it for an extended period of time, it is eventually gonna shorten the lifespan of your card, because it's a mechanical device. Those fans are spinning. The there's all sorts of stuff going on inside. So use with caution. I've been using it more than Wildy has, but that's just because I'm a little bit more comfortable with the risk. So
speaking of another way to make 10 grand on your computer day, it's not really unheard of. A lot of companies do it, but Rockstar actually paid out 10 grand to a fan who made a fix that helps the GTA's loading times by up to 70%. That's a stupid number. And the load times on GTA are hurtfully long, but so usually these bounties that companies pay are for like security risk and other things like that. But this is one of the few ones I've seen where someone actually went in and modded a game file, and the company actually says, "Hey," like I don't know if they said, "Hey," I mean they probably could have done it on their own, but they probably just figured it was easier to just pay this guy 10 grand to adopt this fix and implement it. But I think that's pretty cool. A guy is so enthusiastic with the game, got so fed up with it that he went and fixed it and re-engineered it, and and they're going to pay him for it because granted, there's a lot of games out there. Skyrim's notorious for errors and fixes and problems, and if you back when I downloaded Skyrim, I don't know, I haven't done it for a while. There was an official patch unofficial patch you had to download to not have a bunch of errors that a lot of people had that didn't break the game for you. So it's pretty cool to see this Rockstar stepping up. And Dave, your take on that?
Here's the thing. The game was released on September 17th, 2013. So the game's been out literally 7.5 years, almost 8 years.
Yep.
And if you have these devs that come in and they're looking at the same, as a lot of you guys know, I'm a developer myself. When you've been looking at the same code base for extended periods of time, sometimes it's really easy to overlook a very simple solution. And sometimes it takes a fresh set of eyes to come in and be able to see, what the issue is and be creative enough to overcome, think of a way to fix the issue. And that's what a lot of these bounties are for. Like Wild said, most of the time it's for security, but GTA 5 has been around, like I said, since 2013, still running on the same code base. It's old code. It was optimized back in the day, but now there's better, more optimized code. There's better ways of writing the code. I'm not sure what code GTA is written in, but there's better ways to optimize the code, shorthand code so that there's less processing time. And that's probably what this person did, and maybe connected a few dots here and there as well. But
I read the story. He sounded like he unconnected a few dots of it doing a lot of unnecessary tasks in the loading process. But one of the other things I think is mind-boggling, I love to share this fact, but Grand Theft Auto is the second best-selling video game of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Currently with around 140 million copies shipped, and one of the most financially successful products of all time. Think about that. Like the Beatles, you name. What else is there? Star Wars. Like GTA 5 is more successful, has made more money than freaking Star Wars, than Disney. That boggles my mind, dude. So yeah, they have about $6 billion in worldwide revenue. Insane.
Yeah, it's crazy because like just looking on Twitch, I rely on Twitch to kind of tell me where the popularity of games are. GTA is still in the top 10 highest viewed video games, and the game is almost 10 years old. The game has not changed much in 10 years. Maybe a few new heists here and there, a few new vehicles here and there. But for the most part, the game is the exact same as it was in 2013. And I think it's because of the creativity that you can have in GTA. There's a lot of people that do a lot of role playing in GTA. There's a lot of role playing servers, and which makes the game different, have a different experience from person to person. It allows people to be able to express themselves a little bit more, and that's why it's one of the most successful games. And from personal experience, the story mode is absolutely fantastic. I loved the story on GTA 5, and the heists on GTA 5 are awesome as long as you get with good people. It's notorious for people hacking. They try to keep people from hacking, but a lot of times people are hacking for good. They're doing cash drops and XP drops and stuff like that, but that again, it's an almost 10-year-old game using the same code base for almost 10 years. People are going to figure it out.
Day, I'm gonna put you in the spot right now, Day.
Yep.
If you had to guess right now on Twitch, where's GTA fallen? Give me a top 10, top 20. Don't look it up. Don't be fucking cheating over there.
I've already looked it up.
Fallen?
I've already looked it up.
On Twitch right now.
Yes. It's like number 9 or number 10.
Number one right now. 283,000 viewers right now. GTA 5.
Is it? Oh wait, I have it. Sorry, I had it sorted by recommended for me. I didn't have it as viewers from high to low.
Number one game on Twitch right now, 8 years old. Insane.
And
so
just chatting doesn't count. Just chatting is not a game, guys. It's above Warzone. It's above Valorant. It's above Dota. It's above League, Minecraft, Apex. Oh,
crazy!
And
I didn't expect it to be that high. I was like, it's popular at the moment, right? It's not always up there. You got some big names playing it right now. You got Summit 1G's playing it right now. So yeah, that alone.
Summit accounts as of right now. Summit accounts for 54,500 viewers.
Yep.
So I mean, you take that off, you're still over what 229,000 viewers with
Yep.
Summit off of there. There's one Portuguese guy in front of them that's got 61. So they cover up. They take up basically 105,000 or 115,000 viewers, but still having well over 150,000 viewers is still an extremely strong game at the end of the day.
So anyways, I just thought that was a neat little segue there, and just talking about that. And it's good that they still support a game that's 8 years old.
Yeah, to put those numbers in perspective, even if Summit 1G and the other top guy was not streaming, they'd still be in the top spot, because Summit 1G and the top guy, like I said, is about 115,000. Call of Duty's at 113,000. So you're looking at Warzone is still like 40 or 50,000 less viewers than what GTA would be minus those two people. Insane. Absolutely insane.
All right, moving on. PlayStation VR. Dagon, I know you don't have the VR, but I know you've experienced the VR. PlayStation 2 VR coming to PS5, but we're out to 2022 or later. So, I mean, there's a little bit of timeline on that. I know that's not really their priority, but it's definitely on the radar. So
now their priority should be making more units of PS5s in order to be able to sell the VRs for the PSVR 2. But yeah, my best friend has the VR for the VR 1 for PlayStation, and we played a bunch of games on it, and it's super fun. The headset's pretty comfortable. I personally like the Oculus that we have. It's a lot lighter. It's a lot less bulkier. The Oculus handsets are more ergonomic and nice. If I'd like to see them I'd like to see, the PlayStation kind of adopt that kind of style versus the wand with the dot with the glowing ball at the end.
Well, the wands are done. They already got some word on that, and the controllers are going to be more towards the traditional Oculus Rift Vive controllers along that line, and they're all pretty close to each other now. So I think it's pretty neat. It was an early product, really, I thought, when it came out. So it'll be nice to see what improvements they can make. And I think VR is definitely popping right now. Definitely going to have a VR episode coming up, too, you guys. That'll be a Patreon special. So
yeah, you got to be signed up for Patreon if you want to see it, guys.
So, we'll release it at some point. But it'll come out Patreon. So pretty neat though. I like to see the big companies stepping up and supporting this, and Facebook has also said there's a Quest 3 coming, there's a Quest 4 coming. They don't have any plans to stop making them as of right now, and they're having great success with them. And watching I follow the VR a couple VR channels on Facebook. And people are having really good success with VR on a $300 Quest headset playing Microsoft Flight 2020s. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, the Quest 2 is, I think it's revolutionary. To be able to play PC games on VR wirelessly, man, let me tell you what, and
Plus, being able to play them natively. Being able to play them natively is, you lose a little bit in the experience. And let's all be serious here. My old gaming PC is $1,500 gaming PC. My new gaming, at the time, and my new gaming PC is closer to a $2,500 gaming PC. This is a $300 headset that's doing the work, that I needed this $1,500 PC for event, beforehand to be able to play games like Beat Saber and stuff like that. Now they've powered them up and they've pared them down, and now it works wirelessly natively. That's amazing. So you don't
need internet. You can take it with you. You can save the games on the device, and it's portable. You can travel with it. Like this has been the biggest step in VR gaming probably since VR gaming came out. Like consumer grade VR gaming.
For me, it's the wireless, and that was always my sticking point. Is I just don't like, in most cases the wire probably doesn't really matter a lot, but the ability to be free and wireless is amazing. I love it.
Well, who's not doing VR, right? Well, rumor has that they're going to be doing VR, but they've shot down the rumors.
Yeah, so some people over in Italy noticed a message that translated up to an update for the VR headset is available, and I don't believe they had a VR headset, and Microsoft was quick to say VR support is not a focus for the company. Basically, it's not on the radar, and has basically swore VR off, and I just find that hard to believe. Like, I don't know, but you already have, now they own Skyrim, they own ZeniMax, so Skyrim was I still have to play it in VR. I haven't played it yet. I have a hard time buying my fourth copy of Skyrim, but I'll do it. And there's some big games out there in VR, and I think it's going to be hard for them to say no.
Doesn't Microsoft own Minecraft as well?
Yeah, I mean,
think about that.
That would be amazing.
I know it was like it might have been like 3 to 5 years ago. I was watching CES or something, and they were showing the augmented reality with like Google Glass or something like that. with Minecraft, but I haven't really seen much else out of that. So the VR like would be the next logical step, and if I don't see why they wouldn't go VR. I mean the Xbox Series X has the capability from a performance standpoint to be should be able to support VR. And
So does my One X. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, why not? But I guess, they don't Microsoft's trying to hoard away too much money to buy things like Discord and shit that they don't need and stuff that's failed like Mixer, and they're still paying Ninja and Shroud and stuff from their big contracts and whatnot. So
I just wonder if this is a like a hardware argument, like Microsoft doesn't want to make the hardware. Why wouldn't they just go, all right, well, why aren't they selling to the highest bidder and say Oculus, Microsoft and Oculus, or I don't.
It would make sense. Like, it would make sense with Oculus because they did sell, well, kind of sold Mixer to Facebook, or they integrated. They basically moved everybody from Mixer to Facebook gaming. They've already stated that they're going to be doing something gaming related with Facebook. I think it's the kind of like what Stadia does with YouTube, where you'll be able to launch a game straight from like Stadia's. You're able to launch a game straight from YouTube. Maybe they just haven't found the right hardware partner to partner up with yet. Maybe they don't want to go with somebody like Oculus or something. Maybe they want to find, somebody that they can potentially buy out, or they can partner with to create the hardware. And if the partnership fails, then, Microsoft's not out a whole bunch of money from buying another company. So,
yep.
And then speaking of, go ahead.
So and speaking of Microsoft buying companies, Microsoft has confirmed that, as we kind of just said here earlier, that the Bethesda
acquisition.
I know. Microsoft confirms that its Bethesda acquisition is complete, and some games may be exclusive. So I think I missed the mark on this, but maybe this is Microsoft's jab. All right, Sony, you got Spider-Man, Sony, but guess what? We got freaking Skyrim, Sony. You know what, man? I tell you what, dude.
I could have swore we had that debate, Wildy. I told you that they were probably gonna. I told you they were probably gonna have some Xbox exclusive games, or at the very least Xbox exclusive content. And if memory serves me correct, you're like, no, there's no way, not with big games like Skyrim and Doom.
I just don't believe it. But we'll see. I guess it's their company. They're fair to do it, and they both do it. But it seems like Sony's a little more evil in that aspect. So I've always said Microsoft is the less evil of the two. But we'll see. It would be. Man,
I don't know. You need to watch.
Wild though.
You need to watch Pirates of Silicon Valley.
Yeah, if Skyrim was an exclusive title, dude, that would be insane. That'd be insane.
I don't think they'd make Skyrim an exclusive title. I could see them doing like Doom or various versions of Doom, because I think Doom is a good console. Like, it just seems like a good console game to me. Maybe Fallout. Just there's certain games that scream Xbox to me, and Fallout to me seems like one. Doom seems like one. But it's
Fallout was one of the games that I aspired never to play on console and only on PC.
I'm just saying it's what I think, and the games have started migrating over to PC or to Xbox. Some of the games are even on the Xbox Game Store on the PC, so you can actually go in and download if you have Game Pass Ultimate. You can actually go in and download Bethesda games off of the Xbox app on PC now, which is cool. It gives it allows you to broaden the games that you can play, because in my opinion the games for PC on Xbox through the Xbox app were complete garbage, with the exception of like Flight Sim.
Well, I mean, they're not going to be probably all the games. Enough interesting games that are good and stuff. But so, anyways, next follow up, as we talked about before, Valheim still crushing it. Last we pulled, and I bet the number is much higher still even yet. Valheim crossed the $6 million mark, and they also teased their first big updates. Leave those.
You're deleting that?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, you want me to go through it?
I'm leaving you to. I'm just trying to
okay.
toss it back to you.
Yeah. So yeah, Valheim's update includes something called Hearth and Home, and they have another update called Cult of the Wolf, another update that's going to be called Ships in the Sea, and another update called Mistlands, which in the finished version of the game there will be 9 biomes with 9 bosses. And then they're going to be exploring adding mini bosses and stuff like that. So just kind of giving you more content. I'd like to see them do kind of like what World of Warcraft does, would be like dungeons and raids and stuff to try to get, higher level equipment. But, it's going to be good. They're going to be throwing in some sailing because, it's based on Vikings. Vikings did a lot of sailing. They're gonna.
Looks like they're just gonna be rounding out the game with a lot more content to everything, and it's like that. The game already sucking people in, amazingly, and it looks like you bring that added level of depth, like Skyrim-ish. Like Skyrim. There's people that can play Skyrim that still play Skyrim nonstop all the time, and they're messing with mods and stuff like that, and it's good to see this content coming, and it's good to see this was a leaked roadmap. So I don't think they necessarily want it out there quite yet, but now we know, and I think people are jazzed on that, and hopefully that they provide.
Yeah, what's crazy is the game's still in early access, so like the game's not even fully developed. So they're like Waldy said, they're really just rounding out the game. They're bringing it to the vision that they initially had when they launched it. They just needed the additional capital from the game sales to be able to afford the developers and the time it takes to do all that. But it's good to see that the game blew up like it did, and we should see games like this stick around for a while. I mean, think about it. World of Warcraft has been around forever. There's other MMORPGs that have been around forever. I think this is going to be one of those ones that's around forever, as long as they keep doing it right. That's going to be the thing, and they keep the game engaging. They don't make it too easy, they don't make it too difficult, and they don't make it to where it's such a grind, or at least if it is a grind, it's a fun grind and not oh my god, I got to go do 65 quests to get from level 59 to max level 60 or what have you.
Well, I think Valheim kind of erases a lot of grind, because you can learn things by being in groups with people, picking up equipment and stuff like that. That's pretty nice. I still not really my thing, but I'm confident if I played it, it would hook me at least for a couple days of time.
I'm scared to play games like that. I have a track history with World of Warcraft.
I absolutely agree with you. That is a legit valid concern, because that's the other thing is, like, I like my other games. I still like COD. I still like my dear PUBG, and so I don't.
Well, for me, I don't
need a third gaming girlfriend.
I have a history with MMORPGs. I once played World of Warcraft for. I was unemployed at the time, and I played it for 6 days straight with probably 3 hours of sleep in those 6 days because I was like, let me see how fast I can get to a max level and grind it out. And it almost cost me and my wife our relationship. And I'm scared of those games. Like I get hooked, man. I'm like, oh, I got to get to the next level. All right, no, I got to get to, I got to do this quest. Okay, one more quest. No, okay, one more quest. Damn, I died in this quest. Hold on, I got to finish this quest. And that's really what I'm scared of. But that was a number of years ago. Maybe I've got a little bit better self control. We'll see.
I'd like to say maybe I have better self control, but I'd also like to say that last night I had to get to level 48 with the AUG and COD, and I may not have went to bed till I got there. So
See, point proven.
speaking of COD, we did have a chance to jump in and get a little Warzone zombies in. They made it all the way to the hospital, and we went in and challenged some zombies at the hospital. Dave,
That's
what
fun.
was your experience there?
It was fun.
Yeah.
You got to really keep your head on a swivel because if anybody's around the hospital and you initiate the whole zombie thing, man, is it a great way to get shit on by another team because you're focused on killing these zombies. And Joe Blow comes up behind, comes in the hospital behind you and just wrecks you while you're trying to wreck zombies. And then you're like, well, shit, this was pointless. And I did that to a couple people on a couple games with a buddy, my buddy Ish, and because I was like, oh snap, it's all showing up on my radar on my mini map, and I was like, they're gonna be focused on the zombies, they're not gonna be focused on anybody else. And we went in there and we the two of us, we went in there and shit on a 4-man squad, and
Yep.
it's the
zombies itself isn't too difficult. Like it's not that encompassing, but you throw another squad in there and then something crawling at you that could still hurt and kill you. Yeah, it makes it difficult.
And then, what was your take on it? Was the risk worth the reward for the stuff that you got out of the crate? It was a decent amount of money, but I don't know if you're already rocking your loadout, the gear that comes out of there is pointless, in my opinion.
I'm going to say the fact that we didn't get contested there for what were we there about nearly 10 minutes.
Yeah,
we were there for two solid cycles. So I think it was short of 10 minutes, but no one else was there with us. Middle of the map in zone. It's not too highly sought after. It's not too. It's more novelty than anything, and it probably should be. It really shouldn't be a game changer. It's more of just, I think, an Easter egg to the upcoming change to Warzone that we're expecting.
Finally,
of zombies triggering a nuclear event. I don't know,
and destroying Verdansk as we know it today.
I am not enthused with the idea of one map. Like I like multiple maps, and I don't know. There's so many battle royales are one map. Apex is one map, and yeah, they've changed it, but it's I don't
Fortnite.
know. Why can't we have another map so we can keep that classic that we like, and then have another one we can like?
We need the side chick. We need the side chick, or we need the ugly Betty. I don't care which one it is. Just give me a change of scenery. Don't let me play the same tactic game in and game out. Don't let me hold the same sight lines game in and game out. Because there's people that's been playing Warzone since day one, and they have the same sight lines, the same drop, the same everything since day one, because that's what they're comfortable and that's what they're familiar with. And they know that, they're comfortable with the paths. They know the terrain, on these paths, and just give us something different.
Yeah. Speaking of different, EA Play, another follow-up here. EA Play has dropped to Xbox Game Pass for PC. Added 60 games to the mix. That's pretty decent. There's enough stuff in there to keep you entertained and decent games and such. So we'll follow up on that. They're there, they're live, and you can download them and play them now.
I am a fan, especially on the Xbox. I play a lot of NBA 2K, so I can play NBA 2K21, and I have been. When I'm not on my PC, I'm playing NBA 2K21, and I'm having a lot of fun. Star Wars is on there, Star Wars Squadrons.
Yep.
So I know the guys. I know some of the people on our squad. They downloaded it through Steam. I don't know if
We bought it. We bought
you
it
bought
on sale.
Yeah, I bought it on sale through Steam. I don't know if you're able to combine them, or if I download it through EA, if I download it through the Xbox app, can I play with you guys? That's something that we're gonna have to test. But I mean, you get some really
Xbox, no, but you can. We were playing between Steam and EA.
okay, so
that works.
It probably still work the same that way. But you get some really good games like the Star Wars games, FIFA, Battlefield, Anthem, which as we've already discussed, they've stopped development on Anthem 2, so it is what it is on here. But you get all of the Battlefield games, Crysis, Dead Space, Dragon Age, Madden, Mass Effect, Medal of Honor. Oh, do you remember when COD actually had a legit other than Battlefield, had a legit competitor with Medal of Honor games?
I never played.
Oh, I did. Your Need for Speed games on here. It's
lots of stuff. I mean, for me, it's lots of stuff I play. I wouldn't necessarily buy, and I think that's perfect. I think that's a perfect match for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm stoked about it. I'll put it that way. I love Need for Speed games. I love all of the Battlefield games. You get up to Battlefield 5. I mean, and who doesn't like Star Wars?
Yep.
So this is for PC gamers is kind of a huge upgrade if you have the Xbox Game Pass. And you're able to, and you have you're now able to play all these EA games, and you like sports games, you like your FIFA or what have you. Like I said, Madden's on here. The only thing that I don't see that I would actually want to play is NBA, but I don't know how NBA games would work on PC to begin with. I think you have to use a controller. So, but I mean, this is awesome. This is a huge step forward. It definitely increases my game library.
Yep, sure. And then another follow-up, crypto miners fool NVIDIA's anti-mining limiter with, get this, a $6 HDMI dummy plug. So yeah, they're, I didn't make the comment at the time. I should have, but I think where there's money to be made, people will find a way. And $6 dummy plug, pretty easy.
And it's not only just a $6 dummy plug. It's how much man hours, how much did these people get paid to set up these limiters and try to figure out ways that people would bypass it and block those bypasses, and then just to be foiled by a little $6 HDMI dummy plug.
Yep. Fun time.
Crazy. So guys, if you haven't already, be sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram so you can engage with us, as well as find out when we're streaming the podcast and get a first listen before it goes out across all of your favorite podcasting platforms. So do it.
So then this week we do have both an Instagram post and a tweet to talk about. Let's talk about, and this, full disclosure, I found the Instagram post this week, and I had to talk about this, but 100 Thieves Gaming, Nade Shot gaming group there, hosted a TikTok from a guy named Nintenmon, and it's a 17-second search and destroy my game, knife only ace, and it's pretty good. The guy just runs train on him.
Quality.
So
What's an ace for
that's a
people
great
that don't know?
ace is he took out the entire team single-handedly. So
Okay.
he walked through that entire team, stabbed them in the back, and I mean, let's be honest, the players were maybe a little bottish, but nonetheless, it's still, how bad can you be, like, to not call out, hey, there's a guy on us or whatever. And I've been there, and sometimes you just flat caught off a guard, but nonetheless, even bad players or not, it's still hard to get an ace. Still hard to even get an ace with a knife. So I just thought it was a fun clip. I really enjoyed it. So
Yeah, it was.
we'll have to throw that one out on the social medias for you guys to follow up on.
Yeah, it was cool. I could see how it happened because everybody was so focused on getting to their spot because it is search and destroy. People are getting to their spot to watch the different lines of sight and the different angles to go to the bomb. Depending on if you're attacking or defending. And this guy just did what they didn't expect, caught him off guard, like you said, and he was just going through and wiping the people before before they knew it. And towards the end, you see there was three guys just kind of bunched up together, and it's just whack 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 done. He did manage to get hit. I'm pretty sure it wasn't hardcore. Because like I said, he did get shot and didn't die, but we play hardcore games. We don't play core games because it takes 17 clips to kill somebody. So
Yep.
but yeah, no, I mean it's still a crazy feat to at the end of the day.
All right, guys, it's up on Twitter. You guys want to see the clip we're talking about? It's on Twitter right now for you guys to click on. And then I also talked about a tweet that caught me a little bit off of guard here today. And I mean a little bit, because if we talk to our friends in the community, we do get the same answer. So I'm not terribly surprised. But Hawkins, who's a community manager, kind of the media guy for PUBG, the best battle royale out there. They actually, he put out a tweet asking to hear a poll, what people wanted to see in PUBG in 2021 the most. And the four options were a large map, core gameplay changes, other new content, or queue changes, quality of life, etc. And so, not only did he want the poll, but he wanted conversation on that. And I, like 57.7% of the other people that have voted on this poll actually voted for a new large map. And that doesn't really surprise me because a lot of people have said that we really do want another big map. But I'm a little surprised to see it. And then following short behind that were core gameplay changes. I'm not sure what they're kind of getting at there, if they want different modes or changing zones or what, but they got some big names in there. Wacky Jackie's talking, Hambino's in there talking on the clips in there. So if you guys are near and dear to the PUBG world, hit that poll and tweet, because man, I was a little bedazzled today, Dave. Hawkins liked my tweet. I love it. Like, no one likes not even my mom likes my tweets, dude. So, anyways, check it out, guys. Get your word in there if you want to see and possibly influence the future of PUBG and where it's going, and give them a little feedback. It really does look like they're listening to it. I mean, he took the time to acknowledge my tweet, and I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean,
so Dave, what's your vote?
I want core gameplay changes, quality of life changes. I mean, I've bitched about it many times. I think if you go from ranked, which uses esports loot and esports settings, and then you go to non-ranked, it can take 6 or 7 houses in order to find a single viable weapon to fight, and by that time you're dead. versus, if you're in ranked with the esports loot, you can go into one house and you come out with at least 2 viable weapons and maybe one piece of armor and a backpack and a couple meds, so you're ready to get into at least a small fight as needed. And that has been my biggest deterrent on PUBG, has been, okay, I'm gonna drop a big city, I'm gonna drop I'm gonna drop North George Pool into the apartments, and it takes me to the very very top of my second apartment in order to get 2 viable weapons. Everything else has been shotguns and pistols. And then that AR that I get happens to be a mutant, which, in case you guys don't play PUBG, a mutant's probably one of the shittiest ARs you can get. ARs that you can get. It's low rate of fire. The bullet velocity is garbage on it. The distance on the bullet is garbage. It's a poor man's sniper. If you're in a pinch, but you need all of the attachments in order to make it even quasi viable. And that's been my biggest complaint. Is I've said it and I've said it and I've said it. They need to put esports loot on all the maps.
I think they struggle with that because I think they want the game to be an RNG game, where your luck determines how you're gonna play. But the reality is that the players don't really want that. They want the skill to dictate the game. And the basis of PUBG is based on the best players should be winning the game, right? The most skilled players should be winning the game. And that's where, for me, the argument is it shouldn't be a looting game. And I think PUBG is a little bit too much looting for most, if not all, the people that people want to see that change. So my follow-up to the tweet was, I want to see a big map, but there is still a lot of quality of life that change. And I played some ranked games this week, and ranked games are very different than non-ranked games.
They're played differently too.
But then that's what I said when we played, and we did okay. But I said in the last game we played, I said we have to play this differently. People play this differently, and we had to play for zone better. And we played for zone. We held compounds, and there was no lack of fights or fire. I mean, we knocked people. We were using meds like they were going out of style, but we had meds because we were able to loot meds with the loot tables. So the increased loot mean increased fights. There's plenty of times in normal game mode where we're avoiding fights because we're low on meds.
I've got 5 bandies in a single boost.
Yeah, and no boost. Or it's like then you're avoiding those fights because the goal is to survive. Well, the goal could be to fight people too. And so I do have to mention we did win that last match. And it was fantastic. It was fun. It was intense. Like I had a blast playing that, and that just really said to me, like, wow, I forget how amazing this game can be when you push the players to play with their skill and not to see how good they can loot and how lucky they can be. So that's a big change, and you look at a lot of games. COD's not an RNG game, really. I mean, you got to once you get $10,000 between the 4 of you, if you're playing squads, you got a loadout, right? And then you have everything you want, So COD knows COD's successful,
and it's at that point it's about positioning. It's about knowing where people are going to be coming from at any given time. It's about being aware of your surroundings at that point. And that's where COD, where Warzone has excelled, because it's more of a skill-based game than it is a luck-based game. Now the drop The drop, you can get lucky, you can get unlucky. You can do the streamer drops at Superstore like Doc and Z-Laner does, or you can do, the kind of the soft drops, as I like to call them. Like, I prefer to go to the farm. There's plenty of guns out on the farm, but there's not a whole lot of contracts out there that draws people out there. So it's a little bit more chill of a drop, but you can still go out there, get money, get a loadout, and then get into stadium and work your way into stadium and get into good fights.
Yep. So again, I'll retweet that for you guys. Follow us on a gaming moment on Twitter, a gaming moment on Instagram, a gamingmoment.com. If you can't find us, we're on all the social media platforms. You can find us and engage with us and engage with Hawkins. Tell him what you guys want to see with the future of the game. I know a lot of you guys listening are PUBG fans, man. They're listening. This is a chance for you to get a word in.
The more voices, the better potential of the outcome that you want.
Especially when we're a small voice, being most of us play first person NA. That's a very small voice, and our voice needs to be heard. So,
truth. So, Waldy, it looks like we have a question this week. What is a piece of technology that you can't or don't want to live without?
Yep. Dipping back to this question, because there's so much technology in life, and we are a technology stream too. But man, I'll tell you what, I realized this life-changing thing in my life now. We stepped up. We acquired a new Subaru Outback. I don't have the roof rack ski box on the top of yet, so I'm not official owner, but we'll get there. And anyways, we have automatic cruise control, and my gosh, I think it's life-changing. It is so amazingly nice. Like, it senses the car in front of you. It keeps your speed. I can set it for, on the freeway, I'll set it for 75 miles per hour, maybe wild speeding a little bit on the and it follows the flow of traffic. So car in front of me is driving the speed limit at 70. My car will tuck in nicely behind him, not too far, and I can adjust that distance. And if that guy yams on the brakes because he saw something interesting on the side of the road, my car will slow down instantly too. It'll apply the brakes. It'll speed me back up when he gets out of my way. If he changes lanes and gets out of my way, my car will take me right back up to speed and get me back going again. And man, I realize now that sometimes I feel like people are just kind of riding on me, when maybe when I'm driving slow. But the reality is they might actually just have automatic cruise control on, and it does such a good job tailing cars, man. It's I think it's life-changing. I would love to take a road trip with this automatic cruise control and see how that changes the whole trip for me.
Welcome to the 21st century, Wildy.
I know, right?
No, for me, it's YouTube mobile, YouTube Kids mobile, just YouTube general. Because I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm one of those parents that, sometimes you need peace and quiet while you eat dinner at the restaurant because you're trying to have a conversation with somebody, and you don't have time to sit there with your 3-year-old, bickering at you because, they're bored or they're hungry or whatnot, so you just slide them your phone with YouTube on there and they're quiet for the next hour and a half, and, they'll sit there and eat and get done what you want to, what you can get done with what you got to get done with. And, or, even here at home, I work from home, and sometimes I need 30 or 40 minutes of work to do. I've got a meeting or something, and littlest one is just, not playing with his toys, and, not doing what he's supposed to be doing. Slide him my phone with YouTube on it, and he lays down next to my desk here, and he's settled for the next hour and a half. And man, it creates peace and quiet in the car on long drives. I don't I don't know how my mom. Well, I know how my mom got away with it because my grandma bought me a Game Boy, and that was kind of the equivalent back in the day. But I don't know how parents before the kind of technology that we have today, how they did it. I have a short fuse to begin with. I'm not a patient person, unfortunately, when it comes to my kids. And they know that, and the two older ones, they're aware of that, and they know how to keep themselves busy. The 3-year-old still hasn't learned that yet, but the downside to that is he relies too much on. He's always got to have a phone in his possession in order to be happy. So there's some days where it's like I got to try to break him of this and show him that he doesn't need this all the time. And then, it drives you up the walls, but then there's the times where you absolutely need it, and then you have it, and you just give it to him, and you're like, oh, silence, until, they start singing the coffin dance song, because that's what he's into now, and, he'll be sitting in the back, dun, 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 and he does that without the phone until we give him the phone.
If anyone else is a fan of the funeral dance, you may have to drop by WildTwinsFan on Twitch or Dagon07 on Twitch and see if there's a funeral Easter egg for you guys to play with.
Mm-hmm.
Fun stuff. Like to keep the streams interesting, interactive, fun for the viewers. I'm a big fan of the funeral dance. I can see myself.
So that's going to be it for this episode, guys. Let us know what you think. What your thoughts would be if Discord bought Microsoft, or if Microsoft. So that's going to be it for this episode, guys. Let us know what your thoughts would be if Microsoft actually bought Discord, and let us know your thoughts on net neutrality. Thanks for listening in. Consider our Patreon to support the podcast, and by going to merch.agamingmoment.com and picking up some of that sweet swag, such as these nice visors that Wildy are wearing if you're watching the live stream right now. Subscribe to us on your favorite podcasting platform. Be sure to leave us a 5-star review of the podcast. Also, check back weekly for the next episode. And until next time, keep grinding.